Well, I was hoping I could get this on my TV. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel. You're wondering what I'm doing. I'm trying to get this up on my TV so I can see and read your all's comments. And here we go. Good morning, Duke. I thought I'd do something a little different today. It's Sunday morning, Easter Sunday here. And looks like it might be about 4:45 a.m. I already had my coffee, if you wondered. Actually, a little late, Duke. I normally wake up around 3 a.m. to 2, between 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. Happy Easter. I thought I'd do a little live, see if anybody's got any questions they might like to ask. I might have an answer and might not have an answer. Who knows? Yeah, I seen the moon out when I walked out, turned the eggs at my incubator. So we should have another pleasant day. Grace is actually not going this morning. I don't know why. She didn't say why she wasn't going. Normally she tells me. Yeah, this is unusual. I think it might be because she knows it's going to be extremely crowded. Myrtle doing great. School has ended. He graduated grade school with honors. So, happy Easter, David. Thanks for coming aboard. It's been a long time since I've done a live video. Actually, Ray and Roy, they're about on the other side of the volcano to me. They're on more towards the western side of Negros. But really, they're not that far away. It'll probably take, I'm just guessing, probably an hour and a half, maybe. Now, I've been watching their videos too, and it's been a while since I've seen one of them. I don't know why I've missed them. I like their videos. Roy seemed like to be a down-to-earth person. The van is doing great. Grace and I was talking about that the other day. No issues with the running part of it, you know. And I've not had to add any oil, no coolant. Thinking of that, it's been a while since I've checked it. Might try to do that today. You're right, Duke. They do seem like good people. Yeah, we replaced the struts on the little van that I damaged a couple of years ago. What had happened, we was on our way to get from where we started our chickens to get the Rhode Island Reds and some other breeds of chickens. On the way there, early morning, we went through a small town, and Lord and behold, there was a speed bump on the main highway. At that time, it was a piece of property that we acquired, and it's why. But I like it being this close, to be honest with you. I have seen rabbits over time. I don't know if there's a market for them, but they are available. Yeah, I hit that speed bump. Wasn't really I wasn't driving that fast because it's early morning and the sun hadn't come up. It hadn't hit daylight. But anyway, I damaged the struts, and I drove it 2 years before I replaced them. Now I got to replace stabilizers, which is something I have to do usually once a year, at least 8 9 months, most cases. Uh, those stabilizer links, for some reason, they don't build them heavy duty enough, and they wear out pretty quick. Of course, the roads don't help the case any here either. Uh, Start getting a knocking in the front end, and I know I've replaced them enough to know what it is. Nope, no issues with the turbo. Replaced it when I first got it. Of course, it was used turbo, but it's no more issues. Good, Monty. I changed the name probably. I can't remember when it was. It's been a long time. I think right after my videos got deleted, and I had to get in and change passwords and check on my security issues. I lost a bunch of videos. Woke up one morning and logged on to YouTube, and nothing there, all gone. More than likely, your struts are bad because I had to change them on my multi-cab when I had a multi-cab, and had a bird sound at one time, and it would end up being stabilizers on it too. Yeah, I miss my multi-cab. I wish I'd never sold it. could be stabilizer links and not the struts, but I replaced them on my multi-cab because the springs actually got so weak, the wheels would hit the body of the truck. The front wheels wouldn't. I ended up replacing the rear springs too. And one of the springs collapsed on it. And that little truck, it was a good little truck. Just suspension parts, the only thing I ever had any issues with. And they call the center links, what they called. I had to replace the bushings in it a couple times. No big deal. Yeah, it was small. I agree with you, but for some reason, I just enjoyed driving it. Had no air, plain Jane. Mine was 4-wheel drive. It was the long wheelbase version, and mine was the one with the 4-speed instead of 5-speed. Uh, the multi-cab or my little van. On my little van, those are going for about between 250 and 300,000 pesos. It depends on the rebuilder, if you might want to call it, and also the one who's going if they'll back up what they say for the warranty. Which I used a guy in Cebu, and to be honest with you, he did a great job, and he backed up what he said because right off the bat I had replaced the A arms, the suspension arms, and he paid for all of it. And mine didn't have air. And yours being a 5-speed, I bet you yours fuel injected? Mine was carbureted. It was old school. I think the actual year model of it, I think 93 maybe. I run a body VIN number on it, and I think it worked out to be around 93. Yeah, I need to get my air conditioner, my little van, cleaned again. Have the dash removed and pull the evaporator out, clean it, so forth. I can't get enough airflow, and it's cold. There's not enough airflow, so it wants to be cleaned. I have to do that about once every 2 years. I had replaced the evaporator in it about 3 years ago. Yeah, yeah. The fuel injectant model is much better. Got a whole lot more power. Mine was. That's one thing about it. My old multi-cab, it didn't have a lot of power, but unless you was in 4-low. Now it had a awesome 4-low. It would lock the front and rear differentials, positive traction, and it was low. Yeah, the gas prices. Yeah, I've not been out in a few days, but we paid 97 pesos or 98. Uh, the last time we was out, that's And another thing too, here in the Philippines, logistics of getting fuel to each island. Uh, I'm surprised they can sell it for what they do. Because they've only got the one refinery in Luzon, and that's Petron. Hmm. Okay, you take care. Have a fantastic day. And don't forget to live long and prosper. It's not daylight yet. Not even cracking daylight yet. I'm going to see if there's any clouds going to creep in. Well, we've not been giving it to them enough to know what the difference is. Grace mentioned it yesterday, said they don't seem to like it as much as the other. But we'll see how it works out. There's only been a few days. And I'm manually turning the eggs in the incubator now. I suspect that my automatic rollers might not be working. I'm going to try to go out there today. I don't think it's going to rain. If it don't rain, I'm going to try to go out there. I'm not on my fiber internet, so I'm surprised this is working as well as it is. I forgot to switch over. I'm actually on my backup internet right now. I say Grace will be awake before too long. I might start doing this on the Sundays that Grace doesn't go to church. These live chats. Try to get more involved with my people that follow me, answer more questions. Probably not. If we was going to church, more likely Grace would have been up a couple hours ago, and I would already be there. She didn't tell me why she's not going. I suspect because it's going to be overcrowded. And she had a busy day yesterday too. She's probably tired. No, I'm very disappointed with my TV's operating system. The TV itself is fine. It just there's several apps I can't install that I had on the other TV. This has got the Web OS operating system, and my weather is no longer available on this TV. So I'm used to it being there and giving me updates on when I'm watching TV. But now I have to look at my phone to find it. You know, I like the idea of my TV telling me the temperature and the time. Now, this one doesn't do that. So the Web OS is, in my opinion, it's useless. But the TV, like I said, is fine. I can still use Netflix and Prime and Lionsgate and so forth. I hate to put an extra box off the side. I can get those, and uh, I did that with the older model TV. It was fine, but just the extra box. Just I might actually do that one of these days. Might get an Android box so I can have all that stuff back. So, like I said, the TV's fine. I like it. Picture quality is great. Yeah, that's true too. But the picture quality is not as good. Not as good. See, with the external box, I can use the HDMI. I might do that. I had a good one at one time. I gave it away when I bought the Sony TV to a friend of mine that actually passed away. That's another thing, guys. I ain't got many friends left anymore. In the past year, there's quite a few of them gone. Yeah. There's Marky. Of course, hopefully everybody remembers him. I think about him from time to time. And the two guys over at Camelon, three here in Valamosa, a couple there in San Carlos. Or is it three or four in Valamosa? Two, three. Oh, it's four. And three, I don't have enough watch time hours. So I don't know how soon it's going to be. I've got enough subscribers. Okay, there's no cable available here at this location. which I wouldn't have it anyway because I'm here in the Philippines. You'd have to have a contract for that, and no more contracts for me. I like this pay as you go deal. Yeah, that way if I need to have a budget 1 month, I can cut some services, pick it back up in better times, which I do with HBO. I'll get it for a couple months and then I'll cancel it. And 4 or 5 months later, I'll pick it up again. And the only ones I keep on a constant basis is Netflix and Prime. And that's pretty cheap here. My internet, both of them uh, are pay as you go. I'm about 98% on solar right now. I'm running on my batteries as we speak. Now, some mornings it will switch over. Depends how many incubators I got going in my brooder boxes. If I got both brooder boxes going and the two incubators up and running, it will switch over about right now, about this time. And about 7 o'clock, it's back on solar. But I'm going to cure that problem. I've already got a battery on order, and it's going to be about a month before I get it, due to delay in shipping and so forth with this deal with fuel. So, but I ordered it for all these price increases, which I'm sure will hit soon. I really like this solar. I really do. And my new inverter I bought last September, it is totally awesome. I'm really, really happy with it. Well, my HBO is not that expensive here. I think it's about $5 a month, thereabouts. Same way with my Paramount or Prime. It's $3, and Netflix is about $5. And I just started with Lionsgate. I like it pretty good too, and it's about $3. So I try to keep my services around $10 a month for my TV. Right now, my LiFePro batteries, I've got roughly 13 kilowatts, just a little over 13. I'm going to add another 5.1, which put me almost at 19. Now I've been getting the stupid batteries, not the ones you can, has the communications to the inverter. And maybe one of these days I will get that type of battery, but at this time I'm buying what's affordable. I had a friend of mine, I think it was last year, uh, he was getting solar installed, and he had bought batteries like I have, different brand, but anyway, the installer told him they wouldn't work because they couldn't communicate with the inverter. I tried to explain to him they will work with no issues because I'm doing the same. But I don't know what the outcome was. There's a lot of good batteries out there now. Some of them are affordable, some of them a little bit on the pricey side, but they've gotten a lot better than they used to be. I can remember where Life 4 batteries were so expensive I couldn't even think about it. Mm-hmm. I got this feeling it's, with the way things are going, the price is going to go up again. I checked my batteries this morning. They're still holding strong at 52, a little over 52 volts. And of course, I've got my charging set up where they charge right at 90% instead of going all the way to 100%. And they switch over to grid when they get down to about 25%, something, somewhere along there, or 30, maybe I think it's 30%. I did a little research. Just chickens for right now. We had pigs in the past, and it's hard to make any money with pigs unless you have a lot of them and you're breeding them. As far as just raising the pigs and reselling, uh, it's not, to me, it's not worth it. So you're looking at 3 or 4 months, and with the return of per pig, you might make $30. And that's just not worth it to me for all the work involved. Now we had goats too, which goats isn't. There's uh, you can make a little bit of money with goats because you don't have to buy no food. It's just labor intense. That's something crazy here about goats. You basically have to hand feed them. I've never seen anything like it. I'm glad my allergies are not driving me crazy this morning. I can sit here and do this, answer a few questions, get to know a few people. I really appreciate it. Wow, that's sad. I'm fortunate where I live. Got good neighbors, good family. Uh, don't have any issues. Really, really am. I'm very fortunate. Thank you so very much, Paul. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah. I should have been doing these live videos on a more regular basis so I get to know my people that follow me. I do. I go back on old school way I was raised. Is the advantage I've got for what I'm doing here. I apply that knowledge. So, I've always been a jack of all trades, but a master of none. I got 7 people on board, and I really appreciate you guys. Really do. So it seemed like I heard a little activity. And it looked like it's getting ready to crack daylight. Looked like at about 5:15 a.m., best I can tell. Thank you, Paul. Yeah, you're right. The only way you can do anything and get out of the groove of being, doesn't matter what age you are, you put the effort forward, you can make some changes. Yeah. So one of the things I enjoy doing here behind the scenes, as they say, is I help these kids with education. Grace and I will get school supplies and shoes and uh, different items that's necessary that they need. Uh, that's something I really enjoy doing because I like seeing the expressions these kids have when you do something for them that they don't have the means to do. What the Virgil's graduation from grade school. Often I see comments online about the foreigner will make comments that all they do is teach them to dance and sing or something in that category and don't focus on education. Well, that's a big part of their education. It teaches them teamwork. And that's important in life, being able to work alongside other people. No, that's the way I view it. I'm watching those kids during their graduation, how they coordinated and worked together, and I really felt good about that. Well, thank you, Paul. I appreciate it. And appreciate your wife too. Uh, you don't mind, tell her I said so. Tell her I really appreciate her. Yeah, I'm going to start doing this at least on the weekends. Uh, I like to get to know my people that's been following me and answer the questions. Well, I like being laid back, guys. I really do. I like taking my time and think things through and try to make fewer mistakes. Of course, it's human nature. You want to make some mistakes regardless. But if you slow down, you make fewer. Anyway, that's my theory. I'm sticking with it. Hmm. It's slowly getting daylight, guys. Slowly. And we was talking earlier about my solar. My inverter is capable of charging up to 180 amps. Well, I've got it throttled back to 100 amp max. I try to my load on my inverter and charging. I try to keep it uh, under 60 or 65%. Uh, Hopefully, that will extend the life of it. And the good part about it, it's got Wi-Fi, and I can check on it no matter where I'm at, as long as I got internet. I really like that feature because before I extended the extra panels and the batteries, I could monitor it and make sure I had enough batteries for backup and so forth when I was away from home, and limit being without electricity during a brownout. It worked out fantastic. Of course, now I don't have to worry about it at all. I just check on it just to be checking on it now. It's got Bluetooth. I can do it if the internet is uh, off. When I'm at home, I can do it. Only thing I've got is Phil Health. Duncan, South Carolina. I'm trying to remember if I've ever been through there. So I'm originally, if you don't know, I'm from Kentucky, so I'm eastern Kentucky, right on the border of West Virginia and Virginia. So I'm trying to recall if, well, I've been down the East Coast many times. If I've been there, I just can't recall if I have. That's the best thing I've done is retiring here. Uh, to be honest with you, if I was still living in Kentucky, it'd be hard to manage. Uh, Things have gotten so out of hand for us. Cost of living there, it's unreal. I'm talking with my daughter and son, uh, and they they're struggling. My daughter makes good money, and still they're having a difficult time. And then my advice is something I couldn't do personally for anybody out there working is try to figure out a way to create a retirement plan above and beyond Social Security. Uh, I didn't get to because uh, circumstances just wouldn't allow it. You know, life events sometimes don't allow you to do things. Yeah, 45 minutes into this, that's not bad. I was planning on roughly an hour, maybe a little over. Got, I see I've got 5 people still aboard. Thank you. Thank you very much. I've got a couple more on board. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Hello, Nick. Okay, Nick, I understand. Been a while since I've done a live video, so I'm glad you came aboard and got to say hello. And I'm glad you're doing well, Nick. Grace was asking about you the other day, and I was telling her, as far as I know, you're doing okay. Oh, update some gas shortage. Well, uh, they have made a deal with been buying some Russian oil, which extended it, and they're negotiating passage uh, around the strait. Uh, Hopefully, getting some oil flow. But the biggest issue is the pricing. Uh, you know, that's the hard part. I've seen a news clip the other day where a lot of people in Manila area were starting to walk to work because they couldn't afford the fuel. And and then we got another thing that probably will become an issue because the grid can't handle the surge of uh, electric vehicles that's starting. They're having a big surge in sales. Uh, so they've been slowly uh, upgrading the grid, but with this fuel cost, I think they'll get overloaded with EVs. Uh, Not only cars, we're talking about motorcycles too. Electric motorcycles. There's a surge in sales, everything around what I've seen on the news, uh, and I can understand that. If I could afford it, I'd have an EV tomorrow. uh, but it's out of my budget. Even though they've got some new ones that are very nice, and I just have to dream on. Is all I can say. Yep, they've got public transportation down there, and that helps considerably. That's something I've always been impressed here with. It's very affordable for the locals, and of course, uh, fuel crisis is going to make that cost more. I've seen where the government's going to step in and try to help out with some of the transportation, especially in the larger cities, Manila and Cebu and so forth. I try to look at the local news when I can. I miss the old Jeepies. Don't see many of them as I used to. Uh, I love the way they decorated them and so forth. And of course, some of them they patched together so much that you wonder how they kept them on the road. I've not been to Cebu since they've changed a lot of the transportation there. It's been I've not been there, I think, since before the pandemic, if I remember right. I think I renewed my passport at the time. So, guys, I want to hang in there for a little while longer. Uh, if my internet will allow me, because like I said earlier, I didn't switch over to the fiber, so usually my backup internet usually slows down because this is when everybody wakes up and gets online, and my backup internet slows usually way down. Of course, it's still usable. Just I don't know how well it would do on this live video. I hear my chicks running around out there in the brooder box. Yeah, I've got. I really enjoy those shamu, especially when they start getting older. They're pretty active. Speaking of chickens, I've got a rooster out there. He's a Branham, and he's roughly 2 year old, and he probably weighs, I would say, between 13 and 15 pounds. He's a big boy. Oh, he's huge. Uh, as you can see, getting daylight, guys. And I see everybody traveling to get water from the creek. Look, I've got a new one on board. Thank you. Welcome aboard. Guys, I need to try to get my watch time hours up. So, by some miracle, you start getting a little revenue off of YouTube. That would be a big advantage for Grace and I. It would help quite a bit, even a small amount. If I can make an extra $50 to $100 a month on YouTube, that would be fantastic. That's another good thing too, guys. I'm on a 13A. Actually, Grace gets me granola mix, and I like it pretty good. Raisin Bran here, last time I looked at it, it was so expensive. I wouldn't buy it. Grace ordered me some granola mix online, and I have that usually about once a week, something like that. I put bananas in it, fresh bananas. I got to be careful on some of the fruits I eat because, as being a diabetic, I try to monitor everything. Speaking of that, I should check my sugar levels. If you guys will allow me, I'll go get my little kit and we'll see what we got. I'm back, guys. And what I'm getting ready to do is load my little device up and see what my glucose levels are. Oh. Well, last time I checked it, it was 115. I like to keep it around 100 if I can, or thereabouts. I don't like for it to get too low, and I like to keep it, around the 100 mark. And well, up. Yes, getting ready to stab myself here. That's what I don't like. Ouch, 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 ouch. There we go. Oh, up a little bit, guys. I don't know if you can see that or not. 120 is not where I like to be. I got to get things under control. Not where I like to be. I'm trying to think of what I had yesterday that would have brought my levels up. I can't recall anything off the bat, but over the past few days, I have kind of overdone it on having sweet items. I actually had a piece of cake, piece of chocolate cake, and of course some fruit salad too, which is not good. And that's about it. So it's going to take me a few days to get those levels down. I try to keep an eye on it because I don't want to get to where it stays up there and it's going to cause me to start taking the shots. The one pill a day is fine. That's a good thing too. I'm not on a lot of meds. Just one pill a day for my glucose and one for my blood pressure. I keep those two things within check. And of course, I do take a multivitamin. I'm very fortunate there. The only real issue I have is from an old injury. It's got to where it's very disturbing now, especially if I'm on wanting to cook or do something like that. My back really hurts. It gets pretty painful. And of course, I got vertigo, and I hate that. That started a few years ago. But still, I don't let it get me down. I still get around, and I try to stay mobile. I have a morning exercise routine. I spend about 20 minutes to 30 minutes at it. Depends how I feel. In order to keep myself moving. Boys, year is already rolling off quick. This is April already. That's unreal. It just seemed like we had New Year's. Yeah. Keep a close eye on it. Hell, I haven't had one of those in years. Many years. I'm trying to stay away from the shots if all possible. So, both sides of my family are diabetics. My sisters, my brothers, uh, everybody was diabetic except for my mom. That's the only one who wasn't a diabetic, and my grandmother. that my dad was. About all my uncles were on both sides. And speaking of that, this year when we make it official, in my generation of family, I'll be the oldest living male. Nobody's in the male side has made it to my age. None of my uncles. My brother passed at 39. Now the women are a different story. I think the reason I've extended my life is coming to the Philippines. I live a more relaxed life, a whole lot less stress. And of course, Grace stays monitors everything. So that helps a lot too. I have to give her credit where credit's due. Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me now? I had to change mics. The battery went dead on my microphone. I've got two of them, so thankfully. Great. Yeah, my little battery went dead in this one. I have to charge them. It's been a while since I've charged them. And I've made several videos. It's been, I don't know, several weeks since they've been charged. I bought these, I think about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago. And this little kit here is Type C, dual mics. I'm trying to remember what I paid for it. It wasn't much. I think about 600 and some pesos. At that time, I think about $12. It was very affordable. I can't complain. They've been working. If I had to replace them, I'd do it because I've had good luck with them. Yeah, Grace is a little late this morning. That's unusual. Well, guys, I want to call it a day, and I'll try to do this again maybe next weekend, either Saturday or Sunday. It depends how my week goes. And to each and every one of you out there, thank you so very much. Yeah, that's why mine's up. I had a pizza yesterday. I forgot about that. Anyway, guys, thank you. Appreciate everybody's questions and comments. It means a lot to me. And if you don't mind, if you're out and about, don't forget to smile. And of course, live long and prosper.